Hi guys, welcome back to Jude's Tiny House Truck Travels. Today I'm going to look at some of the things I do to keep myself occupied during the day. If that's something you might be interested in, come and have a look. Before we get into the good stuff, just want to remind you that if you like the channel, please make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. Thank you. There's all the normal things that go on in just any house that keep me occupied, such as grocery shopping and washing and things like that. There are travelling from one place to another. That usually takes up a little while, depending on where I'm going. Getting my tiny house truck level so my cupboards don't keep opening and the fridge not closing, and etc, etc. So those are all little things that take up bits and pieces of my time. But the other things that take up my time are exploring. I love exploring, so when I go to a new place I always go for a walk and have a look around, take lots of videos, lots of photos, half of which I don't even use in these, but it gets me out of the tiny house truck, just like going for a walk would get you out of your house. So I go for a little walk and have a look and see what's around, and then I start thinking, right, what am I going to get up to for the next few days? Because I live in a tiny house, I don't get a lot of exercise because it's not very far to walk from the house to the other, as you can well imagine. But I'm also not working at the moment, so that means my life has got a little bit sedentary, as in I spend a lot of time sitting on my bottom making videos things like that. I'm not a big fan of exercise. I don't really like it unless it's got a purpose. So when I pull up at a place, one of the things that that makes a really good place to stay is proximity to a shop, far enough away so I have to get my bike out and go for a bike ride to go to it. So I will basically go to the shop every couple of days and get little bits and pieces that I don't really need right that particular moment, but I go because it's a bit of exercise and because it's got a purpose. I like doing it. And if I get to take bike rides through some wonderful bush and some beautiful places, then that's a bonus. One of the other ways I like to get exercise is by going for a walk, and I've already mentioned how I go for a walk around the campground and where I'm parked and have a look and see what's there. But one of the things I do mainly in autumn, when it's starting to cool down a bit, is I start looking for firewood. And that's always fun. I've had places up in the far north. I stayed at a place called Ramp Road, and it had an amazing pine forest right next door to it. So every day I would go for a walk, and it was a little bit of a hike to get down there, but I would go for a walk and I'd go and pick up heaps of pine cones. A year later, no, not quite a year, but I've still got a bag of those pine cones in my wood box, which I will use this winter. I was recently at Whakamaru Lake Reserve, which they chopped all the pine trees down a couple of years ago, and now the wood is perfect, just ready for burning. So I've been having fires even though I don't really need them, and every single spot that I've got in the truck that I can put wood in is full with wood. So that's one of the things. So it has a purpose. I call it my wood walk. One of the forms of exercise that I get that doesn't have any purpose to it is kayaking. I love my kayak though, and I love getting out on a lake when it's it's peaceful and serene, and there's no traffic noise around. There's no there's no loud music playing. Just that peacefulness of nature. So I'll get into my kayak and I will so it takes a little bit of exercise to blow the kayak up in the first place. Here's a little bit of a video about how that goes, and as I talk I'll play through this video so you can see it. But once I get into my kayak and I wander down, to the left or the right of where I'm camped, or I see something across the lake from where I am, I'll go and have a look. And when I get tired, I just sort of lay down in the kayak and stare up into the sky. And it is exercise without any purpose other than that it makes me feel good. And it's one of the extra ways that I can get the exercise. I just realised that a lot of this video that I've been talking about is all about the exercise that I get every day. I also do lots of stuff that doesn't involve exercise. I used to play a lot of a game called Rummy Cub, which is sort of like gin rummy but with tokens instead of cards. I used to play them when we were camping, and my son and I still played every now and again. And I have the real version of it, but I've also got it on my phone. And that's the thing that I'm currently addicted to playing is Rummy Cub. I also like watching TV programs on my laptop because I don't have a TV. I'm not really into TV, so insanely, I like TV, but I like to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. So I'm currently signed up to Netflix, and I watch particular programs, and at the moment it's Parks and Recreations, which is a bit like The Office, but yes, sort of tongue-in-cheek documentary, mockumentary I think they call them. So that's one thing I do quite a bit as well. Sort of later on when it's getting dark and I close the curtains up and I think, oh, what am I going? Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. One of the other things that I love doing that is very sedentary, I must admit, is reading. I've been a big reader right from childhood probably. I've had partners complain to me about, oh, you've always got your head in a book, and even when I'm driving I sometimes have an audible book playing just to keep my mind occupied. Sometimes when I'm going for a bike ride or a walk, I'll put my headphones on, or listen to it in the truck as I'm driving along if I've got a fair distance to go. So yeah, reading's a big one. I'm stuck on police procedural novels at the moment. But before that it was Colleen McCulloch put out a series of historical Scottish novels. So it was the Limmen Chronicles and the Niccolo series, and they're just amazing. So I've read those two series about I think this is the third time I've read them now. She's a very good writer, and it makes you feel like you're right back in the historical era where they're written. So I really enjoy doing that. One of the other things I like doing a lot, just every now and again, I'll find something that I really want to do, and that's artwork, some sort of artwork. During the lockdown that we had in 2019 for COVID, I got into the adult colouring books and I did quite a few of those, more to keep myself occupied than anything else, because I was going a bit stir crazy on my own. But there's a lot of those around the tiny house that I've made into I wouldn't say pieces of artwork, displays, let's just call them displays. I think the next thing I'm probably going to get into will be mandala painting. I've got all the stuff there, but I'm just the want to do it hasn't quite hit me. I've been a bit sidetracked by making YouTube videos lately. I hope you've enjoyed a look into my daily life, what I do to keep myself occupied. And if you've got any other ideas, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure to share with all your friends and subscribe to the channel because there'll be more up soon.